Hi everyone! I just wanted to show you guys today how to trim women's hair. This tutorial is going to show you how to cut mid to long hair, and I'm not going to show you how to cut shorter lengths because it is a lot more technical. This tutorial is definitely just for a quick little trim to get you by to the next appointment. It's not going to make your hair feel like a whole brand new haircut, but it will be manageable. One thing I want to mention is that you really need to use hair cutting shears, not kitchen shears. Kitchen shears are way too dull for the hair and it's not made to cut hair, and it's going to do more damage than good. One analogy is, for example, cutting a string of yarn with a dull pair of scissors. So if you're trying to cut this string of yarn with dull scissors, you're going to see that the ends are going to look really frayed. I get a lot of questions about where you could buy affordable shears, and honestly, I buy everything on the professional site, so it's really hard for me to say like what non-professional brands are good or not. What I would like you to do when you're looking for a pair of shears, you want to make sure that it's hair cutting shears. Sometimes they'll say professional hair cutting shears or professional shears. Make sure you're looking for shears that are meant for hair. Sarah here already washed her hair and already pre-conditioned. Her hair is still really wet, but if you feel like it's already drying up, then you want to make sure it's wetted down a little bit with a spray bottle or just a bowl of water, and then you could wet your fingers and then kind of comb through her hair as well. If your hair tangles really easily, I also recommend a leave-in conditioner to help detangle and comb through the hair easily. So I'm going to use Amika the Wizard. It's a detangling primer, and I'm going to shake it up and apply all over. And make sure to always have a detangling brush. Wet brush is my favorite type of brush. So I'm just going to get the wet brush and just brush through her hair. And you want to make sure that all the tangles are out of her hair so that when you're cutting her, you're not accidentally pulling or yanking on her hair. So after you're done detangling the hair, you want to part the hair down the middle. I know no one wears their hair down the middle, but it's really good to just part her hair down right in the middle because you want evenness on both sides. So the first part is down the middle. The second part is right behind her ear. You want to just make sure that you are parting her from the top of her head all the way down to her ear. And a clip will be really helpful. So you get a clip and just kind of clip that away. And then you want to do the same on the other side. Just from the very top of her head all the way down behind her ear. And then you want to clip that away as well. Now that you've sectioned her off, it's going to look like this, kind of right down the middle, and then from the very top of her head to behind her ear, clipped away, and same on the other side. The next section will be to section her hair off right underneath her ear, straight across to the other side of her ear. Try not to get too thick of a section underneath, but enough hair where you're making a difference. So I'm going to section the rest of her hair back. And we're just going to be working with just this much hair underneath her nape, right here. All right, I like to make sure that I'm eye to eye with my haircuts. So if you're really tall like me and you have a really short chair and Sarah is all the way down here, then you also want to bring up a chair as well. So I have a rolly chair here underneath, so I'm just gonna have a seat and try and be more eye to eye as possible. I want to add that this is not a full haircut. It's going to be more like a trim just to help you maintain your hair during this time. Now we're going to ask Sarah to put her head all the way down. So the hardest part about hair cutting in women is trying to make a straight line. So that's going to be your challenge for today, is to make sure that you're cutting down the middle first just to get your guide set in place. And then you're going to make sure that everything looks straight across, okay? So then you're going to bring down the hair and cut straight across. I'm gonna go to the other side, bring down the hair with some tension and cut straight across. Now you're going to see, when you put her hair all the way down, does it look straight enough? Don't let it be too perfect, because what ends up happening is you're going to be like, oh, this side is a little bit shorter, that side is going to be a little bit shorter, and you just keep going back and forth, and the next thing you know, you've cut 3 inches, right? So you don't want that. You just want to make sure that it's approximately the same length. So the next to do is to get another big section up on top here. So you could ask Sarah to put her head back up a little bit. And now you're going to go maybe take half of this section right here. Like so. And it's really easy to use your comb to try and make that straight line across. And then we're going to section the top piece out. You're going to ask Sarah to put her head down a little bit more again. If you feel like the hair is getting too dry, make sure you wet down the hair. And now you're just going to go right down the middle and cut right below her guide. And then you're just going to work your way to the right and work your way to the left. Pull the hair down and see what hair is sticking out, because you've already made that guide. Like so, okay? And here you could double check too. Like you could kind of bring these two forward, go down the middle, and see if they kind of line up. If they don't, just make sure that you even it out by cutting whatever piece looks a little bit longer. The next section is your last section here up on top. Brush it all the way down like this, and then finish cutting straight across right below your guide. Go down the middle, see if there's any hair left over. And sometimes if they have a lot of layers, the very top layer doesn't reach the very bottom. That's okay. Cut the left side. And cut the right side. Okay. You can ask Sarah to put her head back up. And this is a little bit of the trickier part, but you just want to make sure that you take this clip away, and then you bring her hair all the way down, comb it all the way down, and you're going to cut straight across. So when you cut straight across, the problem is she doesn't have shoulders. We do. So when we're trying to cut straight across, it doesn't really, we can't really do it very well, right? Like it kind of like sticks out and stuff. So what you want to ask Sarah to do is you're going to ask her to look to the side. When she looks to the right, you can kind of see how her hair lines up a little bit, and then you're just going to cut straight across. And you probably won't be cutting off too much. The pieces in the front tends to be a little bit shorter usually. And then same goes to the left side. You just ask Sarah, can you just turn your head to the left? Okay. And now you want to go in front of Sarah, bring her hair all the way down, match it up to the front, see if it's a straight line or not, and if it's not, just cut straight across. Okay, so what we've done here is we've just cut her hair all one length. We've sectioned off her back and cut straight across. We took another section for the middle. Make sure you combed it all the way down and cut straight across. And then this very top piece, you brought it down And whatever piece that might be hanging out a little bit, we also cut that straight across. And then for the shoulder, you want to just make sure that you ask Sarah to turn her head to the side like this. So, and then you'll kind of see a straight across line. Now that you've done cutting her hair all one length, you could kind of just leave it as is. That's going to give your hair the most fresh feeling now that you got all the dead ends out. So the layers in the hair might be a little bit more tricky because everyone's hair is going to be so different. But this is if you have a very basic haircut, you just want to make sure that you trim everything up as much as possible without cutting too much. Make sure her hair is still parted down the middle. And I'm just going to take this vertical section here, like so. Like that. And I'm just going to lift her hair all the way up. And just snip the little end pieces like so. And I'm gonna do the same to the next section. You're just gonna bring it all the way up and trim up any little stragglers up on top. You might feel like, oh man, it's not that much hair that I'm cutting. It's okay. Honestly, even that little bit is going to make your hair feel so much better. So just bring up her hair all the way up and you're just cutting straight across. And then I'm just gonna do that all around till we get to the middle of her head. Just take a vertical section all the way up and just cut through. All the way straight up and cut straight through. Up and straight through. And then I'm here in the back where her crown area is. Just bring it all the way up and then straight across through. All the way up and straight across. And remember, you're only cutting like 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Now you've created small layers right on the top of her head. And so now what you're going to do is just create small layers on the bottom of her head. So still in that middle part, you're going to just get a section of her hair, bring it down like in an angle, like so, and then just kind of point cut the ends a little bit. Kind of like when you're cutting your bangs and you're just trying to only cut a little bit out of it like this. You want to do that with the bottom of her hair too. So you want to get a big section of her hair and just bring it down in an angle and just kind of point cut through. And then you're going to do that all around her hair. So another like 1 to 1.5 inch section of hair. We're just going to grab all of that and then just bring it down and kind of just point cut, maybe like 1/2 inch. Like this. So this is the finished look. I know it doesn't look like a big difference, right? But the feeling will be really different. So your hair is going to feel less crispy, it's going to feel less tangled, you're going to feel like it's a lot more manageable. And it's going to be manageable until you get to your next haircut appointment. Also, another thing about this haircutting tutorial is that you really need someone that you trust and someone that's willing to really watch through this tutorial with you and someone that's going to make you feel at ease. And a lot of the times I do say that men are a lot more particular about their haircuts, but definitely women are a little bit more emotional about their haircuts, even if it's something so little as half an inch to a full inch. So make sure that whoever you choose to let someone cut your hair, you trust this person and you feel really comfortable with them, because this person is probably also a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous about cutting your hair as well. So you want to make sure that you have a partner that you feel most comfortable with. This is a really great time for you to get into the habit of a really good hair care routine. The detangling spray that I used in the beginning from Amika the Wizard is one of my favorite ones to use for a leave-in. It really does help with detangling your hair, but also leaving it very moisturized because there is a little bit of oil in it. Another great thing that you should be using is a deep conditioning mask. I recommend using Amika the Cure, and it comes in a container like this. It looks like this inside, and you just want to get a little dollop of it on your hand, and make sure you only apply it on the ends while you're in the shower. So you don't need to get it all the way up to the root, but do make sure to apply it all the way in the ends. Try and leave it on as long as you can, around 5 to 10 minutes. If you can't leave it up to the 10-minute mark, that's totally okay, as long as you're doing something to your hair. At-home care is the best remedy for damaged hair. If you continue to be consistent about doing deep conditioning and using a leave-in conditioner, your hair is going to feel so much better than you not doing anything to your hair and just waiting for that next haircut appointment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, you know how to reach me. You could also comment down below. I hope this helped. Let me know how it goes. And if you have any other suggestions on future videos, let me know. Thanks so much. Bye.